All right, in this video, I'm going to tell a story about something that happened to me recently. But it's about when people like flying monkeys or an actual narcissist or narcissistic type person, toxic person, whatever you call them, when they have learned just, how to stump you, like a flying monkey, to where at first you're stumped and you don't realize what they were doing was very abusive, or it was abusive such as turning it back around on you. Okay, trying to gaslight you. It's basically how I see gaslighting. A really short view of it is that they try to make your reality not real. Okay, your reality isn't real to them. And this involves the story that I'm going to tell about what happened to me. Involves business, a woman who was in management at this one particular place. But let me go back on this about management. After I finished my bachelor's, which I had a double major in psychology and sociology, which is important to the story. Okay, both stories. After I finished that I went on to, before I went to graduate school, in between them, I decided to do a post-bac in business. Oh my goodness. Awful to me. I'm not saying this is across the board. This was just my experience and how I saw it. Okay. In this one particular class, the only thing I got out of that felt good was, I think it might have been the first day of the class, on the chalkboard. I think it was a chalkboard back then. Somebody had written this, and I thought it was hilarious. It just struck me as funny. It was, "Does Pavlov's dog ring any bells?" Okay. And I just found it so funny. And I would think that this is going to be an interesting class, but no. What they did in this class, it was business management class, was to teach the textbook, the professor, everything about it was how to manipulate, how to use psychology, things you find in psychology, in psychology classes or counseling even, to use those things to manipulate people for the business, to manipulate consumers, employees, just the public at large. And they were using these concepts to do so, to teach people how to do so. And it just felt so filthy. It was totally, my degrees, like I said, my bachelor's or double major, psychology and sociology. There was no way I was going to use what I had learned to manipulate people for, say, a corporation or business or whatever. I wasn't going to use it to manipulate people, anything for some, some people might say counseling is a form of manipulation. I would think so in a way, but it's for the good, not for the bad. So I wasn't going to do that. So I said, no, I'm not going to finish this post-bac in business. So I went on to graduate school. But still, with degrees in psychology and sociology, I need to know mainly sociology. You have to know so much about so many other fields. Okay, fields of study. Yeah, you really do. So it was okay, but that was like I say, I'm not saying that anybody who goes into business is this way. But that part is important to the woman in the story I'm going to tell about what happened to me recently. I think it was at the end of August or beginning of September, maybe, somewhere around there. And this was during a time when I had one bad situation back to back to back. And I'm not going to go into the whole story behind it, but basically, there was a man who, what he did, I would call a defamation of character, and I reported it to the main office, which the woman told me that she was actually the main person over this. She said she would get with the manager, I guess some kind of manager there, and tell her to do something about it. Okay. Well, I waited for, I don't know, some time, weeks maybe. I don't even know. I didn't write every situation down when it happened, because there was so much going on that was bad. Like people say, bad luck comes in threes. Mine came in more than threes. But so Eventually, I called this manager, not the one that was over all of it. I don't know what her position was, but I called the manager, and like I say, about stumping you, at least I had some part of my brain was acting and knowing what to say and knowing how to respond. But at the end of it, I thanked this woman for her time when I should not have at all. I should have just ripped right into her. And in a way, I did. But my polite side says thanks, to say thanks for your time. Or things that she did actually do something, said she did something about it, said. So, okay, now that I've made that all as clear as mud, what happened was that man, like I said, it was a man around my age, never seen him before, didn't know anything about him. He was rude. He was going to be big man on campus, and he was going to be a protector of all the women, and he was just a jerk. Jerk wasn't the word I wanted to use. A 3-letter word was what I wanted to use. But yeah, that's what he was. Big bully, childlike, oh my goodness, just on and on I could say. I don't want to diagnose him and saying he was a sociopath or a psychopath or whatever. No, he was just a jerk. Okay, but yeah, I could go on from there. So anyway, he did this, defamation of character. And when I did call that manager, she let out some stuff. Maybe she's not quite as skilled. She just got this job. And she's probably around my age. All the people around my age. And, but she had that smooth way, and I knew it. I did videos on this other channel. She had this smooth way of, they're going to protect the business, whatever kind of, organization it is. They're going to protect them. That's their job, really. Part of is to protect them, and what she did was to turn it around on the person complaining. And this is how she did it. Okay, like I said, they try to stump you. She's got this really sweet sounding voice, very Texan sweet, which mine isn't sweet, but it's Texan. But she basically said that she let out that he had done this to more than one person besides me. Maybe I'm, one of that actually complained. I'm happy that people actually complain. Yeah. Okay, and she's kind of spread this all out, but basically when you put it all back together, it is that she was saying that out of the kindness of his heart, he likes to make people laugh. So he does these little jokes that to make them laugh, but some people just don't understand him. Don't understand his jokes. She's blaming the victim. To put it all together, what she's doing is flipping it and turning around and saying that all of us, like it wasn't just me, she let it out, all of us just didn't understand his kind heart and his jokes. Oh my God. Please. Seriously. Okay, but like I said, there was something in that my wits were about me, because, there is some kind of, would you call it a contradiction or what? The soft voice and the way she spread it out, being so nice and sweet and, all this, like she's helpful. But really she's switching it around and blaming the victims, plural in this situation. And just, she's like a flying monkey to him. She is a flying monkey to him, And he's still working there and all this stuff, and it's like, but she also put out that she had a meeting with the whole group and told them that this is not the way you treat people, and she had it with him personally and told him not to do stuff like that ever again. He's not to do things because people don't understand his sense of humor. It's not a sense of humor. I have my wits about me enough to say that was not a sense of humor. And everything, saying, the only thing I didn't say was that she was blaming the victim. I turned it right back around, and when I put out that defamation of character, I could hear her, and that there was an elderly woman standing next to me who told him, be nice. And I said, and even if this woman, elderly people, they've lived a long time. They know when somebody's being rude and when somebody's being funny. Okay. For her to state that, and she still, this woman, this manager, kept turning it around, but with such a sweet voice. I'm Texan. Okay, I've heard enough sweet voices. Okay, but once I got off the phone, the whole of it, they stump you momentarily. The whole of it just hit me, that I should have told her, stop blaming the victim. And what I really, in my mind, I think I should call the original woman, the one that's over all of it, whatever her position is, and tell her, give her an update. But, my view is, after taking, all this stuff put together, is that people in management, they have learned, and it's part of their character, not everybody, of course, but part of their character to twist it. No matter what you do, you're not going to win. I mean, I've seen this in my lifetime, not just me as the person that's the victim, a lot of people. And I really do think that, I think that we're going to become a world of the only people working in any position where you actually make money would be the narcissistic type, the people who are trained, people who maybe they didn't even need to be trained. It was already part of their character to flip it, turn it around, blame the victim, still stand up for something that is wrong. Yeah. Okay. And if anybody else is working, although we're becoming so much of people, so many narcissistic people anyway, but the only other people working would be the ones that they take their crap out on. But like I said, we're becoming such a world with so many narcissistic people that maybe they're narcissistic too, and they all just fit in together, And the rest of us who aren't are going to be the ones staying at home and being, abused by their covert side. I'm going to put it that way. Yeah, because I don't believe there's two types. I don't believe there's more than one. It's just a freaking narcissist. If they're actually diagnosed, it's just one. Yeah. Okay, and maybe that's a strong way to put it. Maybe I shouldn't say 100%, but I have seen this of people who are covert narcissists, behind the scenes, and they have all the characteristics you could hear on vulnerable or covert narcissists. But they flip once say the person is the one that the wife is the man, his wife is the one that he's abusing at home, and nobody else knows. Everybody out in the world thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But he is this way at home with her. Let's say they go outside of their town, somewhere where nobody would really know them. Flip, he's the overt narcissist. Okay, I've seen that. I've seen it in different types of people. Okay, now just because I've seen it doesn't make it 100%. That's why I should say it, not 100%. But anyway, yeah, I've seen them flip it, like I'm saying, flip it to where, they're blaming the victim. I don't think she was ready for me because she had to go into more detail. I wasn't that, maybe other people did. I had my wits about me enough to say something back to her. Now, how I did not believe what she had to say. But I thanked her for actually telling them. Maybe I shouldn't have even given her that courtesy. But I don't want to become what I hate. But, yeah, they know how to stump you. And, some people what kind of person would do this, is that you shouldn't think, once it's over, it's over. And don't, what is the word, ruminate? Yeah, about it. And don't think, okay, maybe I should have said this, and maybe I should go ahead and say it. Call back and say it. Some people want you to just drop it. Now, who would say that? And if not, to this type of person, there's something wrong with you, that you just can't let it go. Yeah. Who would want you to just let it go? Okay, now there's extremes. We all know, so, one size doesn't fit all. It could be somebody who goes way too far with that. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you have any comments or you have any experiences you'd like to share, feel free to comment below. And I'm going to wrap this up and talk to you on another video. Bye.